I'm demonstrating the Anaplan Sheet Connector for Google Sheets, an add-on that enables seamless data synchronization between Anaplan models and Google Sheets. This video will show the complete OAuth authentication flow and how the connector uses each of the requested scopes. To begin, we'll go to Extensions, then the Anaplan connector for Google Sheets trademarked, and then Open Sidebar. This begins the OAuth authentication workflow. You'll be prompted that note authorization is required. A script attached to this document needs your permission to run. Click OK. You'll then select the user that you'd like to proceed with. So I'm going to be using ryan.domke@appfolio.com for testing purposes. Next, you'll be notified that this script or this add-in is requesting access to this info about you, which is your email address. This is essentially the userinfo.email scope. Next, you'll click continue, and then you'll see the next 5 scopes, which again are displayed in English. The first of the scopes are view and manage spreadsheets that this application has been installed in. Second is connect to an external service. Third is send email as you. Fourth is allow this application to run when you are not present. Fifth, display and run third-party web content in prompts and sidebars inside Google applications. Click select all and then continue. At this point, you've now completed the authentication workflow and the sidebar opens. So next I'm going to demonstrate how each of the scopes are used. Before we can really use the sidebar, we need to pass our credentials to Anaplan. So there's 2 ways to do that. One is to use OAuth. This can be used if you've already set up an OAuth client on your Anaplan tenant. Otherwise, you can simply use your password and email to log in, and this is the same password and email that you'd use to log in to the service provider. That generates an authentication token that can then be referenced throughout the sidebar. So next, we're going to go on to demonstrating spreadsheets current only. So we're going to write to the current spreadsheet. To do so, we'll go to Save Views, click Fetch Saved Views. Fetching saved views is actually demonstrating script.externalRequest. What it's doing is sending an API call to Anaplan and then returning the list of saved views that we have access to. So I'll click Time Filters, which is one of the saved views that we have access to. It'll load page filters if there are any page filters for that view. In this case, there are not. And then we'll click Export View. You'll notice the sidebar updates us on what is happening, which is again a demonstration of script.externalRequest. And then finally, data is now written to the time filters, which again is demonstrating the spreadsheet current only. Spreadsheets.current only. And again, userinfo.email is demonstrated here, pulling in my email. Next, we can go on to the script app, which is server-side processing. The server-side processing that we just demonstrated is this sidebar, right? We're showing different updates on what's actually happening. So again, found 13 views. We're loading page filters, starting view export. Here's the ID of those time filters, and then finally the target. Lastly, we have script.sendEmail, which can be set up under the Schedule tab, and then going to Email Notifications, and you'll see we have the ryan.domke@appfolio.com, and then these will be notified upon successful exports and failed exports. And we click Save Settings. And there we go. Now to demonstrate a complete workflow. So I will create a save view, another one, and I'll say this time one is a financial data. This is dummy data. I wait for the page filters to load. I can select the page filters that I'd like, then click Export View. It writes to that sheet, and then I can set up a schedule and say, hey, I want all the configured sheets here. I want a schedule, so I'll say test is the name, frequencies daily. It's going to run at 9 a.m. We'll say save schedule. That schedule will then appear. This is the second one that we have. I'm going to delete one of these. And then another feature is we have a ad hoc refresh. So we can click this refresh sheets button. This will then load all of the configured sheets in this workbook, and then we can choose which ones we'd like to refresh, or just select all and then click refresh. Now here again, we're demonstrating the script.script app, which again is that server-side processing. We're showing all these status bar updates. The script.external_request, again, we're making all these API calls to Anaplan to actually download these views. And then the script.container.ui, again, is this sidebar. It's this HTML interface, the refresh sheets that we're displaying. And then again, the spreadsheets.current only, we just have written to these two sheets. And there you have it. That is a full demonstration of the Anaplan Sheets connector.